I'm going to tell a little bit about my story. It might be inspiring, encouraging for some people, or it might be not inspiring and not good for other people. I don't know. I'll try to tell it the way that I feel. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the world trends. Where do I see the world going? And the opportunities in information technology, which is related to the world trends that I see. And then I will talk a little bit about my personal recommendations. So please don't record this and my recommendations, and afterwards do something with that. And if it fails, don't come to me to say, hey, Nuri, you recommended this and that, and it didn't happen. I'm not an oracle. I wish that I could see the future, but I'm not able to, unfortunately, see it. Now, before I get started on my journey, my biggest kind of motto, or the word or the sentence that I really like a lot, is the one that I hope that all of you can see on the screen, which is the best way to predict the future is to create it. So people talked about, hey, Nuri, how did you create the freelancer and the gig platform that you have today? We have 800 people in 72 different countries across the planet, working on behalf of Microsoft, providing Microsoft 365 support. 4 years ago, no one thought about it. So 4 years ago, when people thought about, talk to me, hey, what the future looks like, I said, look, for me, the future looks like creating a big support organization and democratizing IT and support and bringing jobs to the people, to their houses. And I hope that, we were taking the right decisions, and I just wanted to create that future, and we really made it happen. So, this sentence in every part of my life, believe me, be rest assured, this sentence in every part of my life has been always with me. My parents, my mother, my father, they've been always telling me, hey, look, you go and create your future. Don't wait for other people to create your future. People will help you on your way, but you need to be the person who is driving and who is pushing towards what you want to do in the future, how you want to live a life in the future. So I really recommend, if you are a lot younger than me, I think that most of the people in this call are very, very young people, very dynamic people, extremely smart people, ambitious people. Please, as much as you can, hey, don't try to predict the future. The best way to predict the future is to really create it. So, a very simple and stupid slide. Maybe Martin, you can give me a signal if you are still seeing when I'm changing the slides, if everything is being seen correctly.
Yes, everything is fine. Everything is fine. You can go ahead, Nuri.
Okay, fantastic. So we will start from the left bottom, and then we will go to the right top, and then we're going to start talking a little bit about how do I see the future and the trends that I see in the IT industry and etc., which is, I think, is the most important thing, because maybe you might think, hey, look, Nuri, you are great, but we want to talk a little bit more about the future. But maybe a couple of things that I'm going to talk here can be a lesson learned from you as well. So I finished my computer engineering. There I go to the market, and I really thought that I would be immediately hired, and I would have a management or director role, whatever role. So I was really very ambitious, and I really thought that just because I have a degree, everyone would just kiss my feet and leg, and everyone would just treat me as a superstar. And life gives you lessons. So I started to work with my necktie, with my jacket, suit, and everything like that, doing cabling. So there was a job that was called like IT coordination work, and I thought that it was kind of about system, software, or whatever, and that was really not the case. They told me, hey, look, you will need to start from zero, and what you need to do is you need to just pull cables and then do the rack stuff. So UTP-5 cables from the old dusty buildings, new buildings, old buildings. I've been doing that for a long time. I needed the money. I didn't have money. I'm coming from a poor family, quite a poor family, to be honest. Now, thanks God, we are getting better and better, but that's what I really needed to do. So deal with cables and racks and stuff like that. So that's been going for a while. But at that time, 35 years ago, I really thought that the IT and the computing and software would be something that the future would bring to me. And I was not mistaken about that. So I continued to study my software skills, new programming languages, C#, Paradox, Pascal. I continued to teach myself about especially software, because I was seeing that the world was slowly taking and picking up on computerizing. And that was kind of very interesting for me. And I started to continue to study software. And after a while, I became a software engineer. So I was working in a company, in multiple companies as a software engineer. And it was really one of the best parts of my life, because I liked developing software. Software was not so important in the planet. And there was not a lot of software engineers at that time. And I really took the advantage, and I was becoming better and stronger in the software engineering. After that, systems started to just came in, email servers, document management servers, document interchange servers, file transfer servers, and stuff like that. So telecommunications and also client and servers infrastructure and architecture has been very, very important. And there were big companies that were looking for system administrators, system architects, system builders, or whatever. So while I was developing software, I was constantly looking at the future, to the market trends. Because if you keep on doing what you're doing, you will get stuck there. You need to constantly, especially if you are kind of a doctor, if you are an economist, if you are someone who's in the IT industry, you cannot get stuck with what you're doing. You need to check what is the trend from here to 3 years, what are the trends from here to 4 years, and keep on preparing yourself towards that direction. Rather than no one is going to come to you to say, hey, look, I think that you should do X, Y, or Z. You need to check that trends constantly, and that requires a lot of effort, late night reading and reading more and investigating more. So, those kind of my habit on reading a lot, investigating a lot, asking too many questions, and having mentors, it helped me a lot to get to my next job. So that was kind of a system administrator. People saw that I was successful, and I became manager. I started to drive teams who were made of software engineers, then system administrators, then architects, then consultants. And I'm not the big boss now. You can see on the right hand side with a cool coffee, with cool eyeglasses. But I think that walking through all of the stages took me to, for me, the best company that ever existed in the planet since 1965, which is Microsoft. So the road was not that, hey, I started something and immediately went to Microsoft. It was more like I needed to put my nose on the ground and get my hands dirty and, sweat a lot, suffer a lot, learn a lot, and constantly learn to push myself to be where I am today. And we are still doing that within Microsoft. So the impact area you can have in a company like Microsoft is really huge. And I really encourage you, if you want to go to an IT sector, you can have huge impact with, the software that you will develop, the systems that you are going to build, the architecture that you're going to implement. You can have a huge impact in the planet, and you can really be very proud about that. Now, so far so good on lots of Nuri and his history or whatever. So Martin asked me, hey Nuri, tell us a little bit about how do you see the world trends. I'm not an economist. I'm not someone in the governments or something like that. So I'm not Bill Gates. I wish that I could be. But, I'm investigating a lot, and I'm seeing some things that I really think that could be interesting for all of you to know. First, the hybrid work and the remote work will heavily take over, and the gig or freelancer economy will grow big time. So the pandemic taught us something, which is, hey, people can work and the world is prepared to work from home. That brings enterprises. So the enterprises normally were, until now, you needed to be in a city, specific city, where the offices of the enterprises are, to be able to be part of that enterprise. Today, it's not anymore. The planet is the office. So you can be anywhere in the planet, because we have the telecommunication, we have the infrastructure, we have everything possible. We have the security, which is related to all of the work that you will need to do from home, because enterprises want everything to be done in a very completely secure manner. So enterprise offices will be the planet, opening thousands of job opportunities, which is super important for you to know and to keep an eye on. if I would be you, I would be constantly looking for gig and freelance platforms as well to understand where are the job opportunities, because I'm very involved in the gig and freelance platform. I see that really it's a very, very big and growing business. Of course, people who insisted to be in the on-premises servers, on-premises machines, they will need to adapt to the new world style, which is the cloud computing. In this, you have Microsoft technologies that I really admire. You have Azure, you have Microsoft 365, you have Dynamics, you have CRM, you have Intune. You have lots of Microsoft cloud offerings. And of course, for me, the most important one is the Microsoft 365, because it is really about the productivity. How can we make the people productive in the IT world and collaborate with each other within the planet without any kind of boundaries? That is really, really very, very interesting. Internet of Things and artificial intelligence. AI is artificial intelligence. Many of you might know it, but just in case I'm saying it, that is going to grow dramatically. I think it's going to more than triple and quadruple even in the next 2 years. So programming Internet of Things, adding those devices, small devices as signals, as unit to go to the big data is going to be exploding big time now that everything is really remote. Cybersecurity. Currently, there is a huge shortage on cybersecurity engineers. Why? Because since the pandemic about 2 years, everyone started to work hybrid from home, remote, and there's been tons of security attacks and hack intents from many hackers to interfere into those communications to be able to steal and get data and maybe sell the data or expose it to other people in internet. So when I look at the job applications that there are in the gig platform, or also in the enterprises, there is a certain shortage on cybersecurity engineers, which is a very, very interesting kind of a place to be as well. Of course, internet and social media will open additional income opportunities. Nowadays, everyone is kind of doing a startup, having an idea and just going to internet. The world becomes your customer, so you can detect an opportunity and you can create and develop a software in the cloud. Anyone can do it. It can really scale very quickly. Anyone can access it. Anyone can purchase things. So that's going to be kind of a very, very strong force and economical force as well, moving in the future. Web3. So some of you might have heard about that. I strongly encourage everyone in this to take note about Web3. So, we've been in Web 1 where we were only the consumers of some information, client server. Web 2 is potentially what we are doing now, which is more like, hey, you have Instagram. There are servers of Instagram and you are just, interacting, more interactive, but still it is controlled by some companies, the servers and the services controlled by the companies. But then you have the Web 3, which is all of those kind of services are completely distributed across the planet. So there is no ownership of services like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or whatsoever. So, and also this is really related to the blockchains and, things like Bitcoin. I strongly encourage you, even though you would be a system architect, a Microsoft 365 support engineer or whatsoever, I strongly encourage you to look at Web3. And also related to that, to the non-fungible tokens, so NFT, which is people are starting to have digital ownership of things. So, currently we are certified that we own a car. We have a paper that says that this car is mine. So it's a physical asset, and we have a paper which is physical, says, hey, this car belongs to Mr. Nuri Demirci Lopez. But people are starting to buy digital asset. And through the usage of Web3, they are taking non-fungible tokens to justify that those digital assets are theirs. So, and then there is this trading of those kind of digital things, and there are some copies of that you can authorize to sell. So the NFT also, if you have some time, coffee time, tea time, Coca-Cola time, orange juice time, big glass, look at Web3 and also look at NFT. Of course, moving to sustainable energy will continue. Everything which is related to getting the data and the signals from the planet to see where we can do better in terms of going to sustainable energy, and everything which is related to the hardware and the software related to the sustainable energy is going to grow. Companies and also governments are ready to send billions of dollars on sustainable energy and ways to be able to see how the world can be carbon neutral. And for that, you need software, and for that, you need hardware. And then you need to have people who are going to support that, right? Maybe there are going to be issues in that communication. Maybe there's going to be issues in that service, and people need to have provide support as support engineers in all of those kind of areas. The move to sustainable energy, in my opinion, this is my personal opinion, is not going to be so fast as many people wish for. Now, in terms of recommendations, a couple of them, and pretty much this is my last slide, because as Martin was saying, I have a couple of polls that I need to join in about 8 minutes where I'm going to present as well. But take away a couple of recommendations that I have here in the slide. And Martin, I'm going to make the slides available to everyone that would like to have a look or whatsoever. You can feel free to distribute that. So, one, the IT world opens thousands of opportunities. If you are not in the IT world, look around, look in the world, not only look at your country, because the ecosystem is not your country, it is the planet. It doesn't matter where you are, you can contribute and you can do something and you can have a job. We have in our freelance program, as I was saying, we have 800 people in 72 different countries. We have people in Burkina Faso, we have people in the United States of America, we have people in Egypt, we have people everywhere on the planet. In Nepal, we have people in Nepal. It's a very remote place that I think, Nepal, it's very, hey, but that person is earning money, contributing to society and doing IT. So IT, if you are not in, if you have no clue about IT, hey, get in. It's very easy. It's really very easy. So understand the basics of computer networks and cloud computing. This is super important. People like Martin, super intelligent, super smart persons, people with a lot of experiences. Computer networks, how they operate, how the computer communicate with each other. It's super important for you to know. People think that it's kind of an engineering. It is really not. You can have it. You can have all of the concepts in less than a month in your head and start looking at what the cloud computer looks like. So very important. We've been talking about many different trends in the world in the slide before. So you need to select where your passion is. My passion initially was really to develop software. That was my opportunity, because I was saying, hey, look, I was looking at the people who are doing all of these manual things, and I was saying, hey, look, how can I change that? How can I make the people more productive, right? And how can we automate so many things? People initially think that when you automate things, this means that you will need to fire people. This is not correct, right? Before the tractors in the agriculture was invented, people were just having tons of people were in the field doing agriculture, and they were picking up the potatoes, tomatoes, and the onions or whatsoever manually, and that was kind of a job opportunity. When people invented the tractor or the tracks, everyone was against it because they thought that those things would just take away the business and take away the jobs from all of the thousands of people who were in the fields. And it didn't happen because the industry needed people to create that tractors, right? And people, instead of waking up 6 o'clock in the morning and picking up potatoes and tearing their hands when they're tearing the soil, they started to go to the factories and they started to work there, higher level of pay and higher level of work. So think where your passion is. Is it software? Is it hardware? Is it support? Is it artificial intelligence? Is it machine learning? Is it systems integration? Is it architecture? What is it? My recommendation is that don't go to 16 different areas. Try to focus on one or two things, know other things, and always keep an eye on the opportunities that you have in the next two to 3 years to keep on learning on all of those kind of things. Expand your knowledge around your passion. The future starts today, right? I always say the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago, and the second best time to plant a tree is now. I want to repeat. The best time to plant a seed, a tree, is not now. It was 10 years ago. But now, if you didn't do it, the best time to seed it is just now. Don't wait. No one is going to come to you to say, hey, look, Can I help you, and can I help you be successful? People like Martin are very exceptional people who are offering their help, and I think that it will be a privilege for the people who are in the call to maybe collaborate with him, participate, and also get some coaching from him as well. Please keep on checking the gig and freelance opportunities. As I'm saying, you might be a full-time employee. In our gig platform, as we speak today, we have tons of jobs which are part-time. We have tons of jobs which are weekend jobs. It is not only about earning money. It's about keep on learning, right? You can go to gig and you can keep on being a freelancer while you have a full-time job. But in the IT industry, you can have a project, you can finish your project 1 month, 2 months, then you can go to another project, then you can go to another project. It is also going to give you a lot of super cool connections. Martin and I, we connected thanks to this, right? So my high recommendation is check that kind of gig platforms. And then the next one is, hey, get a mentor. Many people ask me, hey, Nuri, can you be my mentor? Yeah, I can be the mentor. Currently, I'm mentoring 6 people. I'm happy to mentor a couple of more people in any way that I can. So happy to help you and this community to become a mentor for a couple of persons more. As you can imagine, 6 people is already taking a lot of time, and it's really worth it because I also learn a lot. But there are super cool websites where you can get mentors. I mean, there are super cool CEOs, CTOs, CFOs, operations managers in different companies that are doing mentorship in the platforms like pushfar.com or mentoring.org. You can go and search for a mentor in any part of the planet and get a mentor and start working with them. With that, yeah, this is my last slide, Martin and the team. Your future is created by what you do today. That's and not tomorrow. I do believe in the potential of the people who are young. I really do believe so. I think the young generation is a lot smarter than us, a lot more ambitious than us. The thing is that the young generation, one thing that I see the failure coming is that they don't know what they want really very well. I think that they don't have good coaches, and I think that this program can give that direction to those individuals. And then I think that the young generation is a little bit more lazier than the generation that I belong, which is kind of, again, I was born in 1970, not 17, it would be very old. But yeah, you need to push the limits. Otherwise, you need to do something different. You need to look at things that everyone looks, but see something different and go for it. With that, Martin, team, I'm on time. I need to join another call. I'm going to give it back to you as the event organization or organizers, and I wish everyone a very good future, a very good day. Again, if I can help anyone here in any form and shape, yeah, feel free to find me. I'm in LinkedIn. I try to be active in the LinkedIn as well, so feel free to message me there as well. Thank you.